Here's a pair of Brittany Spaniel puppies. They're brother and sister, about 4.5 months old. Now the question arises, should they be neutered so they don't produce any puppies? And if so, when? Well, should they be neutered? In general, yes, we don't want to produce more puppies because there are so many animals that need a home. If any breeding is done, it should be to preserve a fine working line like these purebred Brittany Spaniels. But let's say that we're not going to breed these dogs and we want to prevent having puppies. So when should they be neutered? It's a little different for the female versus the male. Our male is the orange and white Brittany named Archer. And we know that we want to neuter him when he's definitely over 6 months old. So he has a chance to form better bones and ball and socket joint of his hips. If neutered too early, he might be prone to hip dysplasia. So we'd rather have him get close to his adult size, maybe between 1 and 2 years old before he's neutered. For his sister, little Willow, the liver and white Brittany Spaniel, when she's almost full grown, she'll have her first heat cycle. And if a female has a heat cycle, it increases her chance of mammary cancer. And if she has a second heat cycle, it goes up considerably. So we don't want her having heat cycles, and ideally we'd like to catch her to have her spayed somewhere older than 6 months old, but before her first heat, which might be when she's closer to a year old. So it takes some responsibility to train and control your animals so that they don't roam or breed indiscriminately. And it takes a little knowledge to know the right window of time to do the neutering. A dog like this, a pit bull who's intact, is not a dog or a breed for beginners. An animal like this should, as he does, live on a farm where he's got a job and plenty of room for exercise. And his owner has had lots of experience in raising and training doggies. But a big intact male like this might not work in a city environment very well. One other consideration, here's an old doggie that was neutered before she was 6 months old. And unfortunately it resulted in hip dysplasia. So she has some painful hips. And we make her some glucosamine-rich stock to help her out. But occasionally she'll growl at the puppies because she doesn't feel up to playing. So we can do things a little bit differently with our set of puppies here and wait to neuter them until they're old enough and we reduce any risks.